Dear friends, I'm again here with you a new topic. Can you guess the topic? I hope you can. Can you tell me the name of the picture? Yes, it is Melbourne City, lies in Australia. Very beautiful place in the world. Today I am going to discuss about the poem Melbourne by Chris Wallace Crabbe. Dear friends, if you find my videos helpful to you, please click on the like button, ring the bell icon and subscribe the channel. Now let's move on the topic. Now I am going to give you brief information about the poet or the author of the poem Melbourne. The author of the poem is Chris Wallace Crabbe. It means Chris Wallace Crabbe wrote this poem. He was born on 6th May 1934 in Richmond, Australia, and he is Australian poet and professor. He is still living. He is educated in Scots College, Yale University, and the University of Melbourne. And he achieved Melbourne Prize for Literature in 2015. And apart from this prize, he has achieved many prizes in the field of writing. And the given poem Melbourne is taken from the collection of poem titles Selected Poems, which was published from 1956 to 1994. And this very Melbourne poem is about the people of Melbourne city and their lifestyle and their thoughts. Before explaining the poem, I am going to give you some information about the city Melbourne. It is a poem about Melbourne city, which is located in Australia, at the head of Port Phillip Bay on the southeastern coast. Means it lies in the southeastern coast of Australia on the Port Phillip Bay. It was called Beer Brass, means before 1837 the name of Melbourne city was Beer Brass, but in 1837 it was named Melbourne in the honor, means in the respect of William Lamb. William Lamb was the second Viscount of Melbourne. Viscount means the richest person. Before 1837, dear students, the name of the city was Beer Brass, but after 1837 it was given name Melbourne, that we called it present or now also. It is given this name in the respect of William Lamb, who was the second richest person of Melbourne. And after 1850s, the city becomes world's richest city and the center of arts, commerce, education, entertainment, sports, and so on. Now, the Melbourne city is one of the richest city, not only in terms of property or money or economically, but also in the field of education, in the field of entertainment, sports, in every sector. It is developed, it is in advance. The city has moderate climate, means mild climate. There is neither very hot nor too cold. Very suitable, very favorable climate is there. And the inhabitants of Melbourne are called Melburnians. Means the people, the residents of the city Melbourne are called Melburnians. The poem has been divided into three stanzas. Now I am going to explain the first stanza. Now let me recite the stanza first. Not on the ocean, on the muted bay, where the broad rays drift slowly over mud, and flathead loll on sand, the city blurs between the plains of water and of loom. If surf beats, it is faint and far away. If slogans blow around, we stay at home, and like the bay, our blood flows easily, not warm, not cold, in all things moderate, following our familiar tides. Elsewhere, victims are bleeding, sun is beating down on patriot, guerrilla, refugee. From this stanza, the poet says that this Melbourne city is not lies on the ocean, but it is situated on the silent bay, on the silent bay, and where the broad rays drifted slowly over mood means it lies in a silent place on the silent bay where the sun rays spreads very slowly over the mud means on the land and the water and flathead loll on sand or city blows means the rays of the sun does not reach on the city because the city is quite far. The city is so silent, means the rays, the heat of the sun does not affect the city. Between the plains of water and of loom, means the rays of the sun, the light of the sun, spreads only on the sand because the city, the Melbourne city, lies between the land and water, so the heat rays of sun cannot affect the people of the city and the land itself. If surf means the waves of the ocean, it is faint and far away. Yes, if the waves of the ocean in beads are spread or comes off, then it cannot destroy the city because city is far. If slogans blow around, we stay at home means from this line also we can find out the nature of the people. Means if there is slogans, if there is any kind of movement and due to this reason people shouts or they make noise or they raise voice against, in that time we means the people of Melbourne, they stay at home, they do not come out, neither they participate in such kind of slogans because they are peace lover. They do not like quarrels, they do not like just like conflict environment. And like the bay means as the bay is very silent, bay is very quiet, our blood flows easily as the water of bay flows so silently, so swiftly. Like this, our water also blows, sorry, our blood also flows very easily. Means our blood is not hot. We do not like to quarrel. We do not like to involve in any kind of slogans, any kind of tussles, or any kind of conflicts. Not warm, not cold. Means here the poet may want to say two things. One might be the physical environment of the Melbourne city because Melbourne city has moderate climate, neither too hot nor too cold. And at the same time, the poet wants to say that the people of this place are very quiet, very calm. They are not too hot or not too cold. They are moderate, like the moderate climate. Following our familiar ties means we apply the familiar things, familiar values, familiar customs in our life elsewhere. Means apart from this city might be the other places. Victims are bleeding means there are victims, means there is war, there are people suffer, and sun is beating down means there is very high sun is beating, there is hitting sun burns the people means there is torture, there is problem, there is conflict, there is unhappiness. And the sun is beating down on patriots means the lover of nation, the one who loves nation and who fight for sake of nation, they are called patriots. And here what the poet says that apart from or beside Melbourne, in other places there are victims covered with bloods, and the sun is beating on patriots, country lovers. There are guerrilla fightings, and these places are covered by refugee. But the place where we are, the place where Melbournians live in the Melbournes, there is very peace, there is silence, there is no conflict, no crowd. Everything is in quite good condition. Stanza 2. We see its new news reels when we dine in town. Ideas are grown in other gardens while this chocolate soil throws up its harvest of imported and deciduous platitudes, none of them flowering boldly or for long, and we, the gardeners, securely smile, humming a bar or two of rusty song Old tunes are good enough if sing we must. Old image revamped ad nauseum will set the burger's eye and keep him quiet. From this stanza, the poet wants to talk the nature of the people, the feature of the people. Here the poet says, we means the people or the inhabitants of Melbourne. We see the news reels when we dine in town. Means from this line, the poet says that the people of Melbourne watch news while eating. While eating time, they watch the news or they watch what is happening around the world through the news. Ideas are grown in the other's garden. This is very interesting line. Means what he says here means idea, the thoughts, new visions, new innovations are done in other gardens. Here from other gardens, the poet refers to other places, other countries, other nations. While this chocolate soil throws up its harvest, imported and deciduous platitudes. Means here the poet says that the chocolate soil, the soft soil of this place is not good enough for harvest the new crop or good crops. That's why we depend, means the Melbourneian depends on others for their needs, for their necessities, means they imported their essential things from other places, other countries and other cities. But they harvest very few because the land is not suitable for harvest or for growing crops or anything else. None of them flowering boldly. Means here poet again says that if we harvest here also we can grow well because of the soil, and that's why we bring or we import things from other places and we keep it for our use. And we Melbournians, the gardeners, means here Melbournians prefer to say themselves gardeners because they love this rural life. They love very peaceful life, calm life. Securely smile means we are very secure. We do not have any kind of problems, any kind of tension. That's why we smile very securely, safely, because we do not interfere in other case and we don't like to be interfered by others. Humming a bar or two rusty songs means we smile, we enjoy by singing. Rusty means your old songs, means we like to listen old songs, we like to sing or hum old songs. Old tunes are good enough if sing we must, mean the old tunes means they love old things, they love old music, they love old songs, and they found these songs are very good, very important. And they not only songs, the old other old things, images revamped ad nauseum will sate the burger's eye and keep him quiet. From these two lines, the poet wants to say that the people of Melbourne loves old songs, old images, and they remade it, they refine it, and they create it in new form and they enjoy it, and they never raise a voice against the city, and they always stay silent, stay calm, and they are happy in their own world. Stanza 3. As the great wheels run on and shoot his seek variety, there's wind, there's heat, there's frost. To feed his conversation all the week, highway by highway, the remorseless cars strangle the city, put it out of pain. Its lions still kicking feebly on the hills. Nobody cares. The artists sail at dawn for brisker ports or rot in public bars. Though much has died here, little has been born. This last one is very important and ironical too. As the great whales run on, means as the time passes on, and should he seek, if someone search variety, means as the time passes on, if anybody wants to search anything new or any variety in this place, in this Melbourne, then obviously there are some topics. They can find newness in wind, they can find newness in heat and the force. Means these are the things about atmosphere. Atmosphere is changing on, winds keeps on changing, heat keeps on changing, and force keeps on changing. To feed his conversation, all the talk means the people of Melbourne talks about this issues like that wind, heat, and frost all over the week. They discuss about this kind of topics because there is no other variety, there is no other new things. That's why they talks about climate, they talks about environment. Highway by highway, the remorseless cars. Yes, the poet shows the problem of Melbourne here. Highway by highway means the city now covered with lots of highways. There are highways everywhere. The remorseless cars strangle the city, and due to the lots of vehicles, in the development of vehicles, the cars are everywhere. Cars are flying everywhere in every places, and this cause pollution in the city. And due to the over pollution, not only the pollution, there is a overpopulation as well, put it out of pain. And due to this reason, the inhabitants or the people of this place are in pain, in problem. They are unhappy because of pollution, because of overpopulation. Its lines still kicking feebly on the hills. Now people started to live in the hills to save or to escape themselves from the pollution and overpopulation. People start to live in the hill with greenery, with the scenery. Nobody cares, means people are not aware about these things, these problems. All are busy in their own life. And the artists means here the writers, the intellectuals, the painters, sail at dawn for brisker ports. Ports are wrought in public bars. Here the artist condition is quite problematic because they do not have suitable environment to continue their profession, for writing or for doing painting or for doing something else. That's why they spend their leisure time just wandering nearby the ports, or just chatting in public bars, in restaurants. Things must, that last line is very important. Things must died, sorry, though most has died here. From this line, the poet wants to say that lots of the cultures, tradition have been died there, disappear day by day in Melbourne city. And little has been born, and there is only a few things have been created. Old things are disappearing day by day, but there are only few, only little new things have been creating. And because of this last line, we can say that the poet is not so satisfied with the changes which are seen in Melbourne city. Though from the surface, poem seems about the explanation of Melbourne city, it is a kind of irony for the people of this place. Okay, dear students, this much for today. In our next class, I'll be with you with a new topic. Thank you. Till then, bye bye.